I have some questions for you
Hit me.
about the experience of being number one on the call sheet. First of all, what does it feel like every day to see your name at number one on that call sheet that tells you you have to show up at 6 a.m. every day?
You know, during the pilot, it was unbelievable because this is how long Grey's Anatomy has been going on, which was the gig I did right before this. I was number 40 on the call sheet there. So it was quite the jump. So that felt real unbelievable during the pilot. And then quickly, now it feels both like such an honor, truly. I know that sounds cheesy, but an honor. And then also like a call to action. Like every day, I really feel like it puts me to task. It makes me have a moment of checking in my trailer before I walk to set, of going like, am I ready to be the number one I know I can be? And am I ready to do everything I can for all of us, for our show, you know?
It's a responsibility.
Yeah, it's a huge responsibility. And honestly, I love it. I love it. I take it very seriously, but I have such a good time with it. And I get so in the rhythm of it, as you and I do, where we're just like in the rhythm of doing the thing. And then I'll have moments where it's like a really late day and one of my castmates will be like, how do you do this every day? How do you not have days off? And then I'm like, oh man, I hadn't realized I haven't had a day off in 5 episodes, you know? So I think that's a good sign.
There was a point when we were trying to give you days off, and then I think we gave up. I think we were like, well, we need her.
Good. I feel like if I ever needed one, I would tell you, and I know you'd be like, we'll make it work. All right. Let's see. Well, okay, let me ask you that one too. What's it like being the showrunner? What's that feel like for you?
It's weird because I didn't expect it. When we shot the pilot, I didn't think that I was going to be running the show. I thought they were going to hire somebody above me to let me, to listen to me and consider my ideas and then do whatever they wanted. And so I think that at the beginning I was really, really unprepared. And I think most showrunners will say that about their first time at the helm. It's not like you like go through a big like showrunner training experience.
No.
They go like, okay, here's this kid essentially who's a good writer, which means I'm good alone in a room with my computer. And then they're like, let's put her in charge of 300 people and a whole lot of money. And I think that it was like a real slap in the face in a lot of ways at first. And then once I got into a rhythm and I figured out how I like to do things and how what my expectations are, both what the expectations people have of me and what I have to expect of people, right. Then now I feel like, give me another show. I'll juggle 2 at once.
That's amazing.
That's not true.
But it is crazy though. It's like if you believe in that 10,000 hour theory, I mean, you rack those up pretty quick when you work the hours we do. So I think that makes sense.
You certainly do. Did you have any experiences along the way that sort of, whether they were positive role models or negative role models, that made you sort of reconsider or define who you wanted to be as a leader?
For sure. One of my very first network experiences, big job, I had an awful number one. And, I think awful in the sense that she didn't care. I think she thought she had better places to be, which is hilarious because this is a network television show. So, but anyway, and her disinterest, the way it affected everything, really informed a lot for me, where I just realized, not that I would ever be inclined to act that way, but it was just something that really mattered to me. And from then on, I started sort of going like, okay, I want to be a bright spot on the set. I want to be something that is going to really like make people excited about being here and excited about doing our job to the best of our ability. This year, season 2, I worked with a therapist for the first time. Like, I mean, honestly, it fizzled out about episode 2, but I was doing great stuff. And it just helped me, have little like totems, to like lean on, things that it was just like, okay, a little guideline, a little like roadmap for days where I did feel off my game a bit, or, I mean, of course you're tired, or, you know. And I also this season took nutrition much more seriously. I was like, I'm going to try to eat better because that affects me a lot when I feel like sluggish and don't feel, you know.
It's so easy to forget to take care of yourself when you're on set every day because
Amazing.
one, there's 47 million donuts.
Yeah. Yes.
Problem number one. And two, it's like you're active all day on set, but you're also it can be a very sedentary job you're sitting a lot of the time. And yet somehow when you get home, you're fucking exhausted. And it's so hard to be like, all right, let me do this workout, you know, at the end of a really long day, but you have to do it to take care of yourself.
You have to.
The Santa Fe altitude.
Oh, yeah, that'll take anyone out. So has anything surprised you in a positive way about your experience being the showrunner?
Yeah, I think that I came at this, it's season one, I definitely came at it in like this defensive position. Like, all right, I am young, I'm a woman, we shoot in Santa Fe, there's a lot of good old boys here who don't want to listen to a young woman. And I felt a little bit during the pilot, like there was a little bit of like, okay, sweetie, like patting me on the head and being like, sure, that's a good idea, we'll listen to you. And so I came in really steeled for like battle every day in season one. And I think that what surprised me was how quickly people adjusted, and even some of the like worst offenders now I feel really respected. I've worked on projects before where I didn't feel heard. I think that it's nice now to be able to say something one time and have people go, okay, I got it. Let's do what she says.
Agreed.
It's also a lot of responsibility. It's also really scary because I'm like, can somebody tell me if this is the wrong decision, please?
You're like, Chris Hollier?
Yeah. Anybody who's been in this business longer than me, like, okay. But every once in a while, I'll get somebody who I'll say something and they'll go, oh, okay, well, we'll check with Hollier. And I'm like, no, that's not how it goes. I said it.
Yeah, for sure.
What, on to like more fun topics, what were your plans for this hiatus? And how did the world coming to an end change those plans?
You know, it's just crazy, man. It's insane where we've ended, but where this year is gone, I guess. But it was such a delightful experience. And like exactly what you're saying, part of the reason why it's fun to find something new on hiatus for me is it's more like information gathering to then take back home to Roswell land and be like, that really worked about Grace and Frankie land. Maybe we could bring that, you know?
For me, it's like the hiatus is this opportunity to like go live, because I don't, during the season, I'm like, I'm in Santa Fe right now. During the season, I'm like within these four walls or I'm on set. I like very much, I'm so hyper focused, but you know, finding new ways to stay inspired and stay excited.
Like follow creates curiosity. That's what, right? That's what I feel hiatus is, where it's like, I'm just like, I'm reading a lot of short story books. I actually have to text you this one that I'm reading right now because you would love it. But that I like to do during hiatus too, is just follow curiosity. Because then I think it's interesting the ways in which you're like, oh my God, wait, I can steal that for Liz Orteco, you know?
Yeah. I'll close this out by saying that my very favorite days on set are the days that start out really hard and end with everybody coming together. There was a day, you weren't on set for this one, but we had a day, we were shooting with Tyler and Blamis this season, and it was like lightning storm after lightning storm after lightning storm. And we had to shove two really emotional scenes in at the end of the day. And every single person was like, okay, let's go. How do we make this happen? Including Tyler and Blamis, who were like so prepared, so ready to go. Every note, they were like, let's go. We got this, lifting everybody up. And I sat there watching that happen, and I got tears in my eyes because I was like, this is what it's supposed to feel like. This is what it's supposed to look like when your dreams come true. And so I'm hoping to take that on a bigger scale and go, okay, we just had a hell of a fucking lightning storm. Yeah. And how are we all going to rally together and help each other? And, you know, I had actors moving props. I had like camera guys rigging Like it was just mayhem, but we made it
Yeah.
beautiful. And I think that's what we've got to do this season. So I think that's what we have to do across the board in the industry for TV.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Well,
listen.
it's nice to see your face again.
So good to see your face. Wish you were in person.
I'm really glad you're in New York. I'm happy that you made it.
Thank you.